It's showing as upcoming.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have to do my intro again. Look at that. You've get the pleasure of two introductions. Oh, welcome back, my friends. The MRC show that never ends. We are finally here. I am so sorry. For those of you finally joining us, we have had an absolute monumental glitch where the stream did not show. And we have no idea why. But we are here for the final time this week in the land of the rising sun. We're in Suzuka, Japan, the only figure-8 circuit on the Formula 1 calendar. And we are joining us for Tier 4 qualifying action at the moment, where we are halfway through the session pretty much already. And so let me quickly reintroduce, and I do say reintroduce, my comrade, my compadre in arms, my brother in arms. It's the one and only Mr. Martin Hills. Good evening. Again.
Good evening again. At least this time, that was actually a better intro than the first time.
Oh, wow. Well, yes, it was. Yes, okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
And, but you know, I'm sure the fact that the stream went wrong had nothing to do with the fact that you literally just sprinted home from the pub.
No, I'm sure it isn't. No, nothing to do with that at all. No, I'm sure not.
Well, we've arrived just in time for the important bit of qualifying. No one's out, so you know we haven't missed anybody retiring.
Luckily, we have got Kellogg's having a little spin in the Alfa Romeo through the second part of Spoon. Very easily to do, actually. Very, very easy to do. If you click the inside curve, very easy to flip it round. Oh, look who I have found in an Alfa Romeo, who's just popped it into third, funny enough, is a King Kong Bottle Job Anaconda. Here's Mr. Connor Hardy, so he is coming into reserve tonight. Let's have a look. What we're going to quickly do...
Didn't Connor used to be an Alfa Romeo driver for quite a long time?
Ooh, that's a good shout. I think he may have been, actually.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure when he first joined he was in Alfa Romeo.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, he did. He did. Ah, Mr. Dennison, Mr. Ant. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, wow, Roundy. Roundy has popped it into the wall in the middle of Sector 1. We've got to get these telemetries back up now. Oh, wow, he's got it very, very wrong, and he's currently in fourth. But only just, it's very, very tight currently up there with Chelsea Brundle as well, and now Danny as well, the Scotsman himself, the man in the green. He's going to hit me for that. But the man in the green is popped it into sixth. Let's have a look who is on an outlap. So we have got Mr. Sambal. Ah, there you go. Connor was Alpha last season. His first team was Red Bull. Of course it was Red Bull.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. So let's have a quick run through of a lap with Mr. Sambal. He's coming through the final corner, and he comes down the only DRS straight on this circuit. And we've got a little bit of a sideways camera. I think this is my settings, but unfortunately for that. Oh, and very, very wide through turn 1 and into turn 2. They're actually called first turn, believe it or not. Then into this the S curves 3. There's 4. He's going to have a go through 5. Takes a little bit of a risk on that inside curve and the long, ever tightening turn 6. And then up the hill through Dunlop curve, turn 7 and up the hill. Before it's full flat, got to get yourself in your braking, you're turning just right for the Degner curves. There's number 1, and there's turn 9, number 2, gets a little bit deep, does Sambal, and we've got the run up this one here, flat out with turn 10, got to pick your braking point for the hairpin. Turn 11 is actually called hairpin. Oh, a little bit of a big snap of oversteer for Sambal, and then through, this is a long, sorry?
He's out to DRS.
I've got him on 89%. Yeah, it's a bit of I'm having glitches all over the place tonight. Really am. So 13, 14 of Spoon curve. Very important to get a good run because it's a long, non-DRS straight. Very bumpy as well. Up the hill, over the other part of the circuit, into turn 15, 130, our infamous corner, of course. And then the heavy braking into the Casio triangle, 16, 17. Important again to get the base exit and try not to let the rear slide down the hill. And we get turn 18 across the line at 135, but an invalidated lap nonetheless for Sambal.
That's really weird. He was showing us out of ERS around that lap for me.
That's very strange. I am seeing otherwise. Avanash, what a lap. Into second, great lap from him. But Scottish Ninja on a 31-0. He's got 4/10 on Avanash currently.
Yeah, well, I think the times are going to tumble. It's a track that has a ton of evolution, doesn't it? Like right at the end, it seems to be like if you can get out in the last like minute and a half and be on the track like literally as the timer runs out, you do find some time every single time.
Yeah, exactly that. 100%. You are certainly right with that one. It's. I mean, we've seen as well a lot of different race strategies. I know we'll probably come back to this in the formation lap at the start of the race about strategies, but I find as well strategy is very important because it is difficult to overtake around here.
It is, yeah. There's not a lot of places you can do it. You've got to have like a massive tyre advantage and normally get someone out of a corner as much as into one.
Yeah.
So the S's aren't really somewhere you can particularly pass, but sometimes coming out of the S's you can actually pass out. Is it Dunlop, the last left-hander, in the top of the S's?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get people on acceleration out of there. Weirdly.
Yeah, you can.
And then if you exit well before going under the bridge, you can pass into the hairpin, obviously. But I find actually more often you pass out of the hairpin.
Yeah, you can.
So it seems to, and the same goes for the main straight, really. If you, it's all about the exit, isn't it, as opposed to the overall speed, really.
Yeah, it's about the traction, and when we were on board, Winkle, Wee Willie Winkle, Mr. Simon Cowell got a little bit snaky on it, even on his outlap. And you're right, it's where we see people get a little bit snaky, a little bit sideways, especially out the hairpin, as you said. That exit is vitally important to continue the momentum down that straight into Spoon, and we've seen overtakes down there as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scary place to do it, but
I last season, I did it with who did I think I'm gonna say it was Rumax.
Yeah, you did. I watched that the other night.
Yeah, that was the nerves were rattling as that move was taking place. Not gonna lie, I think I did it once or twice on Monday as well, having to try to fight back from the many glitches and the absolute nightmare I had in terms of preparation for that race. And it is a scary place to do it.
Yeah, it's not somewhere I fancy it particularly, but yeah, I mean, I think my favourite here is just if you can really perfect the final chicane. You can get past almost anybody so long as you're close behind them and really nail that chicane.
Yeah, it's more the last bit, isn't it? The last turn down the hill. If you get the right traction through 18 and not have the rear spinning, not have that oversteer moment, you're right. If the traction's there, you can have a great run down the hill.
Well, I find going really tight and sort of slow into the first right-hand part of the chicane, and then take absolutely loads of curb, so you're almost in a straight line over the curb. Then you can absolutely nail the throttle, and that gives you tons of grip as you kind of come past the pit lane entrance. You're
a brave man. I daren't. I try and keep away from as much curb as to take that. You're a brave man.
That's been my technique all week.
Well, you did mention you found something that you did slightly different and it gained you loads of time. I think we've just found the secret.
No, that wasn't it.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, crikey. No. Oh, heck.
No, and you know what? I actually forgot to do it in qualifying tonight, and I just realised, I was thinking, why am I so slow? It's because I wasn't using my speciality technique in qualifying. I found running all the way around turn 1 and 2 and all the way through the S's in one gear higher than it felt comfortable, found loads of time.
Oh, wow.
Even though the engine sounded really sluggish and crap, it was actually quicker.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I guess because your off-throttle diff isn't slowing you down so much through the apexes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see your point, actually. Yeah, and it's you've got that higher gear, so the rear isn't trying to spin up and things as well. So you've got that grip from the rear.
Yeah, and also I guess I think the main thing is like because the off-throttle diff is kind of effectively like your engine braking, isn't it? So if you're using a higher gear, your engine braking is going to be at a higher speed.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to work, but I completely forgot to do that tonight. But then again, never mind.
But you had a good result on Monday night, so can't be too bad.
Yes, that was fun playing with the Tier 1 folks.
Yeah, that was an incredible race. If you haven't watched it, folks, after this
one... I just watched Biff have a massive moment coming towards the bridge. I'm surprised he managed to come out of the barriers. He sort of used the barrier as like a guide rail to go several hundred metres around the track.
Well, he is missing an end plate for his troubles. So we have got Sandbal's trying again, and is on the... let's have a quick look at the tyres, folks. So he's on the intermediate, of course. Tier 1 driver, and probably having no grip, goes straight on. He won't set a lap time, but I tell you what, we missed it, but Kellogg put a 30.2 in. We thought Smooth on a 31.3 was good. Scottish Ninja absolutely pummeled that, and Kellogg, we're already... How on earth are we at the end of qualifying already?
Due to arriving into doing this late and waffling a lot.
Oh yeah, that's the one. To be fair, you and I do have a tendency to do that.
It's not waffle; it's quality content, Mark.
That's what it is.
Yes, we are bringing a dedicated, atmospheric, and informational service to this channel.
Exactly that. Yeah. And that's why people tune in. That's why we have 13 watching now. That's why we have all the subscribers we do. So yeah, exactly that. Please do get involved in the YouTube chat, folks. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your predictions, and general, well, let's call it waffle. We love to hear it. So please do get involved. Chelsea, you're having a good middle sector. Currently in 4th. He could go, well, let's see how his last sector goes. Comes through the Casio triangle. How's his traction? Looks pretty good early on the throttle. To full throttle, takes the shortest run to the line and puts a 31.0. Does move up to 3rd with that one. So great lap from him. I think Avinash has bailed on his lap time. He is 1.2 seconds down on his, and he will be the last person across the line. So unless he pulls something, absolutely no, he has bailed and he is invalidated. So Kellogg's Mr. Rice Krispie himself has a snap, crackle, and popped his way to pole position in the land of the rising sun by 3.5. Nearly tenths of a second from Scottish Ninja Chelsea, with a great last lap has popped it into 3rd. Johnny Bravo has popped it into 4th. Avinash in 5th. The bottle job himself is in 6th. Connor Hardy with the Banshee in the Aston Martin. Night Shadow in 7th. Roundy is in 8th. Unfortunately, crashed out early, midway through qualifying. He was actually looking for the stream.
So basically, that's your fault.
Well, it is probably my fault.
You've crashed Roundy out because of the fact that you didn't get the stream working properly because you were late back from the pub drunk. And then Roundy had to look for the link whilst he was qualifying because of you, and he's crashed out.
Honestly, the guilt I feel right now is absolutely unbelievable.
Apologise publicly.
I do apologise, Zach. I am so sorry for the fact that we were late to the stream and then it wouldn't work. So my fault. Fingers crossed you have a good race.
I apologise for my colleague's incompetence.
Yes.
And his incontinence.
Let's quickly
laugh, wasn't it?
I don't know what to say to that. I honestly don't. But apparently, excuse me, I've got to run.
you got the runs? What?
Yeah, that's the one. Brundle in 9th. RC Danny rounds out the top 10. Qualified in the mediums as well. Great laugh from RC Danny. Geke in 11th. Backmeaser in 12th. Biff in 13th. Smoggy goes 14th. Winky in 15th. And I do apologise. We'll come to the rest of the grid very, very soon. And Roundy is now laughing at us.
No, he's laughing at you.
Oh, yes,
Definitely
that's the one.
you.
Yeah, definitely me. I have a feeling I need to commentate with a few more drinking me more often from this comedy factor we've now got on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I listened to a few podcasts where they'll do that as like a special one-off. They'll do like a drunken podcast.
Oh, come on, Mandy, don't be like that. I am not having 50 penalty points for causing... No, actually, no, because I'm on 5, no, 20. I'm safe. I'll be safe. I'm not going to get a quali ban. I can't afford a quali ban.
Well, have you got footage to support the fact that you didn't have the stream running? No, you haven't. Oh no, that means I can for 10 points.
Oh no, I can't do that. My lead's been absolutely smashed by Soze's incredible race in Tier 2 on Monday evening. So my championship lead is very much under threat and under pressure at the moment. So, formation lap. Let's try to get back to the action. Well, wow. Okay. So, looking at the tyres, I did get to Winky, Necromancer 16th, Nikolai 17th, Sambal, and Stokey, and round off the grid. Now, we've got a lot of drivers on the medium tyres, except the top 2 are on the hards. Nikolai and Ant on the soft tyres, and CBG and Stocker on the hards as well. That I expected more variety there.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, if you just go with what the game suggests to you, you will start on the medium, won't you?
Yes.
And it is a bit of a fiddle and a faff to actually get the game to put you onto hards on the first stint, isn't it? Because you have to go in there and you've got to add a stint. You've got to fiddle the tyres around in the first 2 stints, then remove the extra stint.
Yeah, you do.
It's so easy. They've designed that so well.
And there was one race the other day, it might have been X, where I did that, and then actually of course, as it's now common knowledge that I do start on the hard tyres, and it started me on the soft.
Scottish Ninja's just crashed into the wall on the exit of the hair. No, yeah, the
hair. Oh, through a spoon, yeah, it has. So those mediums are not very warm. And I love that, and I absolutely love it. We should have a drunk mini championship with shots after 5-lap races.
So kind of, the way to do that is to make it 4th. What's happening? Scottish Ninja is now on the grass and crashing into things.
Oh,
has he got an issue?
Yeah, he's through. Oh, he has. I think he's got an issue.
Because he's second.
Yeah.
He's been disqualified.
Chelsea's been disqualified. I think that may be for position on the grid.
Sorry, yes. Sorry,
yes. And we've got the rubbish camera angle, and because he's really far back in his grid box. The drivers at the starter are going to be, well, miles away. Rob, don't even think about it. a shot for each safety car, so it gets less safe as it goes on. So as long as it's not Monaco with simulation damage, we may have a chance.
I was thinking that this is like a disconnected wheel or something. He seems to be going again now.
He is, yes. And unfortunately for him, last to the line. And he takes the wide line through, because don't always ghost to all the drivers. So let's...
That was interesting.
That was different, to say the least. But here we are, folks. We're on the grid. We've now got 5 red lights. And for the final time this week in Japan, we are green. And let's go racing. And it's a great start from Kellogg's on the hard. Oh, wow. He got absolutely swamped in Scottish Ninja. We've got, wow, Chelsea into second. Johnny Smooth and Avinash going side by side through turn 2. Johnny Smooth wins. Connor's having a little bash as well. All seem to make it through the first 2 corners. Nice and clean.
I'm looking at the back. Can't see any incidents so far.
No, and Scott Sambal and Stocker. What a start from him, from about 19th on the grid up to 15th already on the hard tyres. What a launch he got. And we have got a poor start, unfortunately, for Ninja. Let's get rid of those tyres. Position changes. Let's have a quick look. Scottish Ninja down 3, lost to the guys behind him. Brundle has got Roundy in the opening stint, and Stocker, up 4 places, and top another one. Oh, who was that?
Oh, it was a very daring move from Roundy there. Just made a big dive down into the hairpin.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of touchy, but I think everybody came away unscathed.
And I think we've got an Alpine a little bit on the grass going in smooth. That's Johnny Smooth, and we've got Night Shadows through as well, and now Connor's through. That's a horrible couple of corners, unfortunately, for the Alpine. Avinash up into second place. 1.2 seconds already the gap. Sorry.
Brindle just had a half spin into Spoon as well, unfortunately.
Oh no, Brindle Bundle. Roundy up into 6 as well. From that. Chelsea on the recovery channel. Trying to get himself, he's down 5 spots. Oh, we've just seen someone. Who on earth was that? Went straight on at the Casio Triangle. Not sure exactly who that was. And that is Scottish Ninja has decided to pit already. Wing damage for him, and that's going to ruin his strategy. Trying to go long on the hard compound tyres. That is really, really, really going to hurt.
Don't you have to say the Casio Triangle is not a triangle, it's actually a chicane, which is what Gavin says every time.
Is that what you said?
He says the Casio Triangle is not a triangle because it's actually a chicane.
Okay. That's a lot of words to use.
Well, you know how he likes to use words.
Yeah, he does. He is a man of many, many words. Sometimes they make sense.
We've got Biff coming out of the pit, so I'm guessing he's had some damage.
Yeah, not a good one for the men in Papaya this evening. Wee Willie Winkle, Mr. Simon Cowell is also, and he's also spun outside of turn 2. Not a good one for Winkle at this moment in time. Ant is up to 11th already. 12th, he's battling with Smoggy Ghost. We're looking at. Oh, Smoggy Ghost is out! Smoggy Ghost is out. We've got a safety car. So where did Smoggy Ghost go? Have a look on board with Sambao. I think it's outside the hairpin. Oh, straight on at the hairpin. Well, that's a strange place to go. I wonder if he got a helping hand.
Oh yes, there he is. Oh yeah, he's pointing the right direction. So yeah, it does look like possibly he's been maybe tangling wheels or something.
Potentially, yeah, potentially. But already lap 2, we have the first safety car of Tier 4. So Kellogg's got a fantastic start, didn't he? As well on the hard tyres, great launch.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was a soft runner, I would get the hell off the softs right now, personally.
Yeah.
You're only going to do about 7 laps, even with the safety car. So I actually used the softs in my last stint in Tier 3.
Right.
And they did do 7 laps, but 2 of those laps were under the safety car.
Yeah.
And they were about 50% after 7 laps.
Wow. We have found though that the soft don't, the wear is extremely high.
Yeah, I mean they still felt okay. They were just losing speed fairly steadily, but because obviously, I mean, if you started on the softs, you could then go medium if you got the tyres available to you.
Of course, yeah. They'll go about 12, 13 laps, ideally.
Yeah. I mean they'll go further, but yeah, I mean, you know, the chances are, I mean, we've got a safety car after 3 laps, and we're seeing a lot of safety cars this week for some reason.
Yeah, we are.
The chances are there's going to be at least another one. So if you jumped onto a set of mediums, even if there wasn't another safety car for another, 10 laps, then you can still stick another set of mediums on and go to the end. Or if you stuck a set of mediums on now, and a safety car came out in, 5 laps time, you could stay out. You still probably have a chance of being in a decent place to pit again later. So, yeah, the soft is a weird option at most races, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's just not the tyre you ever want to use in the race. Oh, Smoggy Ghost. He missed his braking point and tried to avoid the car in front, unfortunately, and that is just desperately bad luck. So, really unfortunate for you, my friend.
So we're back to this drunken championship, then, are we?
Are we? Is that what we're going back to?
Well, we hadn't really finished that conversation. That actually does sound like it could be an interesting idea. But how do you police it? Because people could be pretending to be drinking their shots, but not.
Yeah, that is the thing.
Advantage.
Exactly. I mean, I have a nice Appleton Estate rum at the moment. Just to go with.
It, aren't you?
Ah, well,
I'm having a classical PG Tips.
Ooh, la-di-da.
Decaf.
Oh. I'm so surprised this time of night.
Well, I drink so much coffee that I have to have everything else decaf, because otherwise I'd just turn into like a giant coffee bean with 2 legs and 2 arms sticking out the bottom and a smiley face on it.
To be fair, you do a good coffee.
Well, yeah, you have was about to say you've experienced you've experienced my morning treats, but that sounds kind of wrong. So yeah, I won't say that. I did froth some milk for you and display it perfectly on your dark brown stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I did make you a flashy latte.
Yeah, you did.
Latte art on it.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Well, this stream's gone to pot.
We should talk Formula One. So there's a Grand Prix weekend, and there's a Mercedes that's got side pods and everything.
No, I've missed that bit. I missed that bit today.
It's doing the rounds on Twitter. There's spy shots of it that some photographers have managed to take through barriers and stuff in the Mercedes garage. You can't really see the whole car, you can only see the side pod entrance, but it has a side pod entrance, so it clearly has a side pod.
Well, is this maybe then the upgrade that they were going to bring to Imola?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. They'll be a bit gutted really, because you can't test anything at Monaco.
No.
The only thing that gets tested at Monaco is the patience of the frickin' audience who are watching it.
Yeah, there is that. And of course we've got the McLaren livery as well, to celebrate their triple crown from, well, across the ages. But we have got a safety car in this lap, and Kellogg's is slowing the field right down. You need to be careful though, because him being on the hard compound tyres, of course, they are going to cool off and give less grip than those on the mediums. But when does he decide to go to the safety cars in the pit lane now? Let's ride on board with him. Is he going to go out of the final corner? He's gone late, but now he goes and tries to catch a Ferrari napping. Not quite, but maybe enough just, but he's going to be hammering that ARS. Tries to go a little bit defensive to break the toe, but that's in mind of gap. And Night Shadow is up alongside Avanash into turn one. The side-by-side Avanash leaves him room. Gav leaves racing room as well, trying to go on the outside of two. Avanash gets a little bit shaken up. Gav's got the inside line into three. Avanash keeps that position just about. Oh, that was side-by. That was good action.
Wasn't it?
It really was, wasn't it? Great racing from the two of them. A lot of respect as well.
Johnny Smooth is... Oh, Gav's just semi-lost it. Went off track. He's not crashed, but he's back on the black stuff again now.
He has. He's lost a few best. Johnny Smooth and Roundy, and he's got the Anaconda behind him.
I think he just got a wheel on the grass and sort of understeered off.
Ooh, that's dangerous, because you're flat out as well. He's going to look at the inside around it. Oh, he got a little tap, and that's close. Connor's going to have to back out as well and avoid, and now he's got the Ferrari swamping him, trying to go on the outside of RSC, Danny. And then he's got the Red Bull as well, trying to go around him. It's all. So we've got another safety car. What on earth? That's Sambal.
Where's he gone? He's gone
in the Degners
bridge.
Yeah, before the bridge.
That is an easy place to go, but he looks like he's gone before the corner, according to that map.
Yeah, he has. He's gone before. He's gone through this first Degner, so
you probably find he's got too much curb on the entrance to the first one. And lost it and dumped it into the wall on the right-hand side of the track. Yeah,
it looks like he went on the inside, yeah. You kind of think at this point no one will probably decide to pit, because with everybody being so close together, you're just going to lose to the whole field.
There's a load of people pitting.
Everyone's there is? Wow. Well, I don't know why I opened my mouth, honestly.
The soft runners did get off those softs and went onto hards while we were talking about it, and they're actually now going to get promoted in front of these guys going to mediums.
They are. So, Night Shadow, Connor, went to this spurs out. Danny and Geke all gone onto the hard tyres. They could go the full race distance with that.
You could.
They won't be feeling very nice, though.
They'll be no, they'd be alright actually. You know, you've got a couple of laps under the safety car, so they don't really count. I mean, you're putting through what, half the amount of wear on a safety car lap?
Yeah, 1 to maybe 2%, maybe 1% a lap.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll go to the end. They won't feel very nice, like you say, but having said that, there's a lot of medium runners in front, but Kellogg's is up there in second place on a set of 5-lap-old hards.
Somehow we managed to miss Avanash getting past Kellogg's.
Yeah.
How on earth did that happen?
Probably around the time that incident happened, I'm guessing.
I think we might have been looking at the whole Night Shadow Connor whole little tangle going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting happening.
Yeah, that may have been around that time, and I don't know if Kellogg's had a half decent gap, and maybe just had a moment somewhere, and we have completely missed it. So do apologise, everybody.
Rob is now making suggestions about this drunken race suggestion of his, which is equal performance cars but different strength of alcohol for each tier. So tier 1 has neat whiskey, tier 4 has blue WKD. It really is the most. It's like alcoholic toilet cleaner. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I haven't had that since I was about 16.
Yeah,
and
it's rancid.
It's not good. Not good. Just give him a beer.
So Rob, I want to know what tiers 2 and 3 get, because neat whiskey is pretty bracing. It's got to be said.
Mm-hmm.
So what's tier 2 going to be, like a G&T or a rum? And then tier 3 is what, like a spritzer?
Yeah, I'm intrigued now. We've got to keep this on going.
Or is he suggesting that tier 4 should be on blue WKD because, like, he's trying to make some kind of statement about the people in tier 4, which is very rude of him?
Yeah, I mean, it is technically our beginner league, so are they beginner drinkers, essentially?
So if you're in tier 4, do you have to go and play the game from your local bus shelter?
Do you have to go to the shop and ask somebody else to go for you? Because you haven't got your ID with you?
A very long time since I've been asked for ID, it has to be said.
I got asked it a couple of years ago. Bear in mind, I'm in my 30s. And I got asked it not long ago for a scratch card. I have a beard, and I got asked it for a scratch card. And it completely threw me. I must have stood there for 10 seconds going, are you serious? Like, what? Wait, what? Hang on. And he said, yeah, just want to see your ID. I was like, I have a beard.
So tier 2 is a G&T, tier 3 is a few beers. It's a bit vague, Rob. I mean, a few beers. I mean, what's that? 6? Because if that's the case, then,
Fair enough.
I think they're probably a bit screwed.
I did not know Rob got ID'd when he was out in Manchester with the admins.
I didn't either. I mean...
Wow.
I'm struggling to see it, to be honest with you, Rob. No offence. But,
I know, but it's as if you got ID. Wow.
All I really remember is that devolving very gradually into endless virtuous soccer in that retro arcade, which I believe Roundy works for, doesn't he?
Does he now?
I believe Zach Round works for that retro arcade chain that we went to.
I did.
What it's called now?
N64. No, it was M64, so because it's to do with the postcode.
Yeah.
And all that, we've got a green light, and so... Wow, weird. We've got a green light. What on earth's going on with us tonight, honestly? So, out of all of that, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Avnash goes very, very wide in turn 1 and 2, just about keeps it from Kellogg's. We've got Anthad to look at back Mizo, didn't make it stick, though. So now we've got a complete difference in tyres. Connor's now got himself up past RC Danny, who also...
Meadow, Amstoke and Brindle are very close together here.
Yeah, they're certainly
Johnny Smooth and Amstoke.
Yep, and back Mizo as well. Avnash is using those tyres to the best advantage he possibly can, the mediums, getting the heat in them very, very early, and trying to only broke in a second. Oh, and Stockwell gets very, very twitchy.
Well, I think he got a little bit caught out by how slow back Mizo was into Degna 2 there. I think it sort of caught him out, and he had a little bit of a side pod touchy.
Exactly. NQ64, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's the fella. That was a good place. That was a very cool place.
But because the virtuous soccer machine broke and just gave us endless credit, didn't it, basically?
It really did. It really did. That was a good fun.
Connor's just gone very wide at Spoon. He was sort of off inspecting the barriers over sort of about 200 yards off the track there. What are you doing, Connor?
Oh dear. Scottish Ninja is battling with his teammate and goes through. Oh, his teammate Biff goes very, very wide. That's allowed Gav. The others. This is a battle of the Scotsmen. In 8th, 9th, and 10th, and Gav makes his way through. Ooh, as Biff goes a bit bouncy over the curves, and is that going to allow the bottle job to have a run on him? The bottle job's in the slipstream. He's using all as much of his ERS as he dares, and he's gone along. He's alongside before turn 1. Takes a lot of the inside curve in turn 1. But however, it was a little bit. Yeah. I think Connor's trying to fight with Gav here. Both tier 3 drivers, of course, so will both receive a 4-place grid demotion, or just a demotion in general. Oh, Connor's decided to pin it up the top of Dunlop, up the top of the hill. That is also very, very easy to do. With just goes a little bit off camber. He's not got any damage, but easy to do up there. If you just run a little bit wide and click any of the curb, as Necromancer we found in the other Aston Martin has pitted again.
Avinash is running away and hiding. He's breaking DRS nicely at the moment.
He is 1.4 seconds as the Ferrari man from the Ferrari-powered Alfa Romeo. But Kellogg's also broken Johnny Smooth. 1.4 seconds that gap as well. Now we're 1.1 for Kellogg's. Kellogg's using a lot of it. Oh, Kellogg's is gone. He's out. Lost it at the end. Lost his rear through 130 on. He's out. That's brought another safety car. 3 safety cars in 9 laps.
That was huge.
That was a big, big slide. We cut to it just as it happened.
I was off board watching the entrance to the Castillo Triangle and just saw like bits of carbon fibre literally going like 30 or 40 feet in the air.
Wow, we just cut to the onboard and wow. So Anth now, after his early pit stop on the hards, has decided to is now taken the lead. Paid beautifully for him.
Oh, Avinash has pitted onto a set of hards, that's why.
Yep, it certainly is. A lot of the leaders there decide to pit. Avinash comes out in 8th place. So actually, that's not a... in the grand scheme of things, that's not a bad loss.
Not at all, because, yeah, I mean, he's a lot fresher than most of the people in front of him. Gav and Danny are both only on 4-lap-old hards, so they're probably the main competition that Avinash has got at this moment, I would say.
Yep.
Scottish Ninja's obviously not going to go to the end.
No, Ant's on Inters. I don't know how Ant has managed to pit to Inters, but he has.
I would imagine that might be a button-pressing failure.
Possibly, yes, I do believe so. This just helped Necromancer, because he had that pit stop, of course, and he was a good half a lap down, so that's going to allow him to get to the back of the pack on fresh hards as well. You'd have to say the top two, well, Scottish Ninja on the mediums is not going to be able to go to the end. That's another pit stop. And started, I think, or maybe pitted lap 1 he's now on the hard tyres. He may have to pit, probably will have to pit again.
Gav's obviously a devotion anyway.
Yes.
So he's not really in that field that we're looking at.
But Randy said he does work there.
I thought so. And see, I pay attention to these things.
You do?
See, Zach, I remember stuff.
Yeah. Oh, wish I knew he was working the night we were in. And they do serve a very nice ale in there, which is neck oil.
Yeah, I had a pint of neck oil the other day, actually. Why are we
Beautiful.
talking about drinking again? We're back on drinking for like the umpteenth time. Let's talk about cars that go around tracks.
Oh, we could talk about bottles, because according to Simba, Connor found his earlier on up through Dunlop.
He did. I think he got a wheel on a bottle and it span him off.
It did, yeah. I mean, it's spin the wheel on the Connor. And
sounds wrong.
That sounds very strange, doesn't it? Sounded good in my head. I need a filter. And has now re-pitted.
Oh, sorry.
From the Inters to the hards.
I thought I might go for the wets this time.
I mean, they do say you need to use more than one compound, so I mean, use the softs, the mediums, the hards, the Inters and the wets in a full dry race. Why not?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should have a race where we have to do that.
Oh, God.
Well, you
Is that in conjunction with Rob's G&T beers and everything else as well?
It could be. It could be.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were talking about the Mercedes that now appears to have side podlets, but which is a hugely misunderstood thing because the side pods aren't really the problem. The problem is that their concept was flawed because of their wind tunnel results, and they've been chasing. They haven't been flogging a dead horse. They've been chasing a ghost basically because their wind tunnel results showed that what they'd come up with was amazing.
Yeah,
but it just didn't actually work in reality. That was the problem.
I think that's why it's confused them so much as well, hasn't it? That they just didn't understand why that was showing one thing and everything else was showing a completely different thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had. It's believed that the fact that the ride heights have gone up has actually really hurt them after they managed to pretty much fix it. So
yeah, and to be fair, they ran quite low, and so that's where I think it may have hurt them, because the Red Bull were the ones that ran historically as well the high rake system, and Mercedes never have done. Oh,
safety car is coming in, by the way.
It is. We better pay attention this time.
Yeah.
As Anstocco is the one to lead him through the Casio non-triangle and decides to go outside of the last corner. But I tell you what, Scottish Ninja did not get caught napping. He has dropped about half a second back. It's nice he got caught a little bit even more napping, 6 tenths, 7 tenths further back. So they're going to be very, very well behaved coming into the first corner. Obviously, Danny is the closest one, the Ferrari. On the back is Evanash on those fresh tyres. Oh, look at this. It's Nikolai and Geki side by side to turn one. Nikolai's got through. Takes that position back. Let's get rid of that. Now, Evanash up into 7th. Don't forget, of course, he pitted the leader. I decided
he's got a bit of a disadvantage now because the others around him know what those tyres feel like to race on, whereas this is his first lap at speed on them, isn't it?
Yeah, very true. Ooh, as the Red Bull tries to have a look, so he goes particularly wide into the first Degnus. But yeah, you're right. And
there was an interesting moment there between Geke and I think Nikolai heading down into the hairpin.
Yeah, but I tell you what.
Quite a lot of grass.
Oh, there's a bit of a touch. Geke Nikolai moves over to Geke, who's on the grass as well. Geke manages to force his way through now. Nikolai on the inside. Oh, this almost Johnny Smooth taking advantage, taking 2 places. Oh, there's Argy further back. That's Connor involved as well. And there's a bit of carbon fibre gun flying.
What was happening there? He was literally just trying to avoid the 4 cars that were slithering around him and got bumped into and pushed off the track. So
I have no idea who, what, where, there. That was well, crazy to say the least.
There's a lot of understeer happening. I think
I think you're right.
Trying to get past with each other, but not really appreciating what their tyres are about to do.
Yeah, which goes back to exactly what you just said about Evanash. People kind of half know what the tyres are, and it's getting that warm-up phase through the tyres. And it does take a good lap. Oh, so Geke's having a quick look at Roundy, doesn't make a stick, but now he has on the exit. Oh, he's trying to go around into turn 3. Roundy has to give way.
Evanash is suddenly looking like he's getting comfortable on those tyres. He suddenly looks like they've woken up. I find that they turn on pretty quick here, actually.
They do, actually, yeah, you're right.
I would say out of all the tracks we've driven this season, this seems to be the one where the hards come in quickest.
Yep, and they are very nice. Oh, what's happened to Gav? What's happened to Gav? It's into the Degnus. He's gone around under the bridge, and oh, there's a car under there as well. That's Winky.
Yeah, I think they've gone together, haven't they, by the looks of things?
Possibly, yes, possibly. Oh, Gav's got no front wing either.
It's a safety car.
It's another safety car.
I was just about to say, why has Evanash stopped? He must have had a safety car glitch. So
yeah.
Right,
Nikolai's
so if you're on the mediums right now, which Scottish Ninja is, surely you get off them.
This would, yeah, you are going to lose a lot of time. But you're going to kind of be banking on hoping that the hards are not going to go to the end.
Oh, if I was Ant Stoke, if I was any of those top few guys, I would be getting in right now. And
I would risk it, yeah. I would, yeah, I agree.
Ant Stoke has done it.
He has, but
Ninja stayed out. He's just doomed his race. Unless there's another safety car, I can't see him getting a gap big enough to make this pit deficit back now.
No. I have to. And Sucker's gone on the softs.
Okay. Oh dear. I'm not sure that's going to work out for him because that means he's definitely stopping again.
Yeah. I mean, mediums, you're going to the end. As Roundy's done. Gav's had to pit, obviously, for a new front wing. Roundy will go to the end. I think the guys who also pitted in the last safety car only 3 laps ago. They'll go to the end. Avinash go to the end. He's already up in 4th as well on that lot fresher rubber. We've got Johnny Bravo behind him as well on the same laps, and Johnny as well. So they'll go to the end.
Rob says, "What's your favourite F1 sponsor and why is it Heineken?" Now, funny enough, Rob, that's actually my least favourite F1 sponsor because they were responsible for ruining the trophies.
Oh, they did.
I bloody hated those things. They all look the same. They're just absolutely rubbish. So
yeah.
No.
What's your least favourite F1 trophy and why is it the French one?
Oh, the French one's the monkey,
the red, white, and blue gorilla thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Oh, it says the man who loves the French track.
It's not the best one, but it's not the worst one. There are worse ones than that. Although I have noticed that there's obviously been a suggestion to make trophies more individual again because they're suddenly actually looking pretty cool, some of them, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. That's very true. Because we went through a stage of them being a plate, then we went through them being a vase.
Scottish Ninja has left the session.
Oh, I just saw his car ghosted as well.
I will, just to be on the safe side, send him a
pitted.
request.
Well, his car's pitted. Whether he meant to pit or not is another matter.
I don't know whether I have him to invite him.
Oh dear.
I don't.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't help that.
Hopefully he manages to get himself back into the session. I hope so, because he was having a decent race, you know. Yes, okay, he's pitted now. What could be classed as a bad time. But he's on 1 lap old hard tyres, which will easily go to the end. We have 13 laps left to go after this one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame for him. I feel sorry for him there, really.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going to be interesting now?
Go on, sorry.
Is we've got RC Danny up in second and now the lead Ferrari. And Avinash on the fresher tyres on the hards as well, right behind him. So we have a Ferrari 2-3 with Johnny Smooth right behind them as well. And then, well, basically the 2 Alpines as well.
Those beautiful Alpines.
Biased. I say that, to be fair, I say that every week about the McLaren, so I can't talk. And I'll be saying that next season of whichever team I potentially will choose. And if I get one, or whichever team I join.
If you get one, if you get a team?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to spectator every week, aren't I?
So, Biff in the lead obviously now has the oldest tyres on track.
Yeah.
So he changed on lap 2 onto those. So I'm guessing he's hoping to do something adventurous with them, but that's going to be a lot of laps.
It is.
Or he's waiting for a late safety car, but we've seen what happens with that when Fox, who had a little bit of an understeer moment and crashed out trying to wait for a safety car.
And then caused one. Oh, Scottish Ninja's joined just in the nick of time as a safety car goes in. And it's now the other McLaren. His teammate were in a McLaren sandwich in Tier 4. And when does Biff decide to go? He sticks quite close to the safety car, but the safety car's in the pits, and now Biff decides to go, and what can the 2 Ferraris? I'll tell you what though, Nikolai
Ferraris are racing each other.
They are, but Nikolai was very much asleep into that one, and the top 4 scampering away. Avinash, ooh, maybe he has a quick look at RC Danny, who goes a little bit wide into turn 1, but gathers it all together, goes a little bit wide through turn 3 as well. This is where they're just trying to get the heat back into those hard compound tyres, and that does take a little while to feel where the grip is, feel where they can turn in, feel how much they can apply the throttle, and it does take a good half a lap. And to be fair, this first sector is very tricky to, when you're trying to push straight away off on cold tyres, it's very difficult to find out where the grip is, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's also it is a track where there do seem to be a lot of people who, yet again, as always, are keen to run as little downforce as they can.
Oh, Avanash gets past his teammate, and that may be a little bit of team orders in that one. I have a feeling.
Scottish Ninja has just DNF'd.
Ah.
Although his car is still going around the track, so that's something we shouldn't talk about until later.
No, yeah, that may be a steward's one.
Yeah. So Avanash looking very, very racy. He's obviously now leading the two Ferraris.
Yeah. As Nikolai is having a little bit of a battle through 130R. Sorry to cut you off. With Geke and Brundle. Brundle is in that mix as well. Geke in the mix. Look at the Haas as well, right behind. Nikolai, of course, has the 5-second penalty. He gets a little bit sideways, but look at Brundle. Bingle, go! And he's trying side by side with Geke, who's trying to get around Nikolai Lehman. They're going to be 3-1 and 10-1. Oh! And Brundle wisely backs out with a 2-head and not giving any edge way. Is he going to try to go through? No, it's Geke that gets it outside of turn 2 into turn 3.
That was some good racing from those guys there.
That was a very good racing between. But look at this, and Stocko's trying to go through and goes around the outside on the stop tires, and he gets pushed wide on top Dunlop. Oh, he's lost it, and it's collision with Roundy.
Avanash just took the lead whilst that was happening. Avanash basically jumped through around the Degners. I just saw the tail end of it as he squeezed past Biff between Degners 1 and 2.
That's very brave.
Yeah, but that's that tyre advantage, isn't it? Biff is on the oldest tyres on track, so yeah, that's where he's going to start losing out, unfortunately.
It is, yeah. And Danny's had, I believe, a moment because Johnny Smooth's just got him as he got.
Oh my word! There's still action going on everywhere behind.
Oh my goodness me, what's happened with Roundy Connor? Oh my goodness me, there's almost 4, there's 2, a drift that's Connor on the inside into 130 on Chelsea. Oh, for goodness me. Avanash, what's happened to Avanash?
Oh, gosh.
He's now gone to 40 of us and now enabled, finally. I believe that's for the first time. He must have gone straight on at the non-triangle.
Yeah, he must have had an upsie around there somewhere. Maybe he had like a half spin. That's quite easily done out of there, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely.
He's not lost out massively. He'll be pleased to note, but he's gonna do a lot of work to get back into the lead again now. So
yeah, he's got to gather himself, hasn't he? Gather his thoughts, and then he's already closed that gap. It was 1.5 seconds, and through the S is already a second, so he's already on the hunt. Down with Johnny Barber, and there is a yellow flag. Who is that in the pits? That's Anstocco. He's retired in the pits. I do believe he has.
So remember that if you have retired in the pits because you have damage, you do need to send evidence of that through to the stewards, please.
Yeah, you certainly do. Oh, what's happened with Chelsea? Oh, he's lost it on the exit of the hairpin. Chelsea was fighting up the top there with Nikolai, Gekin and the like, and oh my goodness me, the Haas man is not having a good time. What's happened to his teammate? Brundle Bingo is just going through as well. He's had a bad time. They're not a good night for the Haas guys. What's happened with Gav as well?
I just saw him on the grass in Spoon. He was sort of like inspecting some of the barriers, doing a grass quality check, I believe.
He's going to be our resident Valtteri Bottas. As such.
Yeah, something like that. Or Monty Don.
Oh, Monty.
I think he's probably more of a Monty Don, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely a Monty Don. He really is. Look at this RFC. Danny is on the back of Biff. Through the S's. both on the hard tyres, because Biff, as we before mentioned, on the most worn. Look at this, he's going to try and do the end of the S's. Oh, nearly thought about it, but he's going to have to has to back out up through Dunlop because Biff just doesn't get the drive as the Ferrari does, and Biff going very, very defensive, trying to get very inventive with the line. Necromancer is also DNF now from the safety. We've got a fourth safety car.
Oh my word, where was that?
In the S's.
Yeah, he's gone in the S's, yeah. That was actually, the funny thing was, I haven't actually taken a second out of those lead guys in that one lap, so that fight between Biff and Danny was really helping him catch up. But now, he doesn't need it, does he?
No, he doesn't at all. No. There is a lapped car that I think had slowed, and that I don't know who that was.
It's that might be Stokoe's car. It came back out on track again.
It normally pulls over to one side though, rather than keeps on going. So it's a bit strange.
Yeah, I watched it trundling out of the pits and trundling through the S's. So,
goodness me. Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
This is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons on Strats, isn't it? Because realistically, you could argue that everybody should pit right now.
Exactly, and you mentioned that the softs could potentially go 7 laps as Biff does pit. Danny stays out, Johnny Smooth stays out, Avinash, what's he going to do? Well, yeah, probably you'd have to say with his tyres, Wisey stays out, Geke stays as well. So yeah, you said the softs could potentially go this long. Roundy stays out as well.
Definitely will go this long, yeah.
Yeah. Brindle gets a drive through as well. It's gone from bad to worse for the Haasman. Unfortunately.
This is, funny enough, the exact lap that we had our last safety car in Tier 3 in. So, yeah, they definitely do go to the end from here.
Oh, yes. Just.
So, yeah, I'm surprised how few have pitted. I think if the first couple of guys had pitted, everybody would have pitted there.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, to be honest.
Although a few had actually already used softs, hadn't they? So maybe there's also a lack of tyres available.
Yeah, you don't want to put on a one set that's done a good quality lap with 6, 7, 8% on. It's a good lap and a half as well, isn't it? So it's.
But most have a set of mediums out there.
Very true.
And the mediums do feel a lot more capable for their sort of, especially through the first 2/3 of their lifespan. They feel really, really good, but. Well, that's kind of everything's gone a bit topsy turvy because our Tier 3 guys are now down the back.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
our T1 guy is just above them.
Well. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you'd kind of think the Haas guys of Chelsea and Brindle. When we say pretty much every week, don't give in, keep going, because you never know what's going to happen. We have Tier 3 and Tier 1 above who are going to get a place to motion. So that makes the stand that Chelsea, as it stands, is going to get a point for the Haas.
Yep.
And that in itself means do not give up.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, you could literally be last, no matter how many drivers there are in a race. Even if all 20 drivers are still running, you could be last at this moment and still end up in the points. It can happen quite easily.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen it.
It just takes a little bit of luck.
Was it early? I'm sure it was earlier this season, and I can't for life remember which track, where we had about, as Anton and Connor both pitted, so that actually helps promote Chelsea and Brindle up. Where we had about 12 finishers. And I can't remember for the life of me which track it was.
Well, there was an Azerbaijan where we didn't even have all the points, wasn't there?
Was
there an Azerbaijan where we had like 5 finishers?
Yeah, there was one. About 7 finishes or something like that. Exactly that.
Because I was one of them. I was one of the ones that didn't make it. I crashed on the last lap.
Yeah, and it was, and that shows. And it's to say, obviously, we couldn't award points for the people who DNF. But yeah, exactly that, and it's proved to say keep on going because you never know exactly what's going to happen around the corner.
No, I mean especially with the attrition rate in this race is obviously huge. I mean we've got nearly a third of the field out.
We do.
So anything can happen, can't it? Really, but I mean, as it stands, there's some big tyre differences here as well. So, you know, not only if you're on the track at the moment, you know, do you have the opportunity through luck, but you also have the opportunity through tyre performance as well. Because look at all those guys at the back. They're all on the youngest tyres, so from 9th downwards, they're all on fresh tyres, basically.
Yeah, this has worked out. You think while you're giving up, excuse me, to position, and we did say can be very difficult to overtake here, but with that grip advantage, you can be a little bit more bold, be a bit more daring, go on the outside in the S's, go on the outside of 130R or the Spoon, and because you have that grip that the other guys don't have, and exactly that. So, you know, don't discount Biff, Chelsea. Well, that's a very late call. And now we've got a Ferrari.
The traction difference on those tyres is phenomenal.
Oh,
and that's what we were talking about earlier.
Exactly that. So, when does RC Danny decide to drop the hammer? And let's hope not drop the car. He's leaving it very late back, then backed up, and just as he gets them backed up and pushed Johnny Smooth on the back foot, he's gone, and Avinash doesn't fall for it. Avinash has got the jump on Johnny Smooth, and it's just a race of who's got the lowest wings, and wow, Johnny Smooth in a straight line. Goodness me, that was incredible. Fighting the car through turn 2, and nice shot of Biff have gone! And back Mezo's also in a wall backwards into turn 2. Oh, that's a big hit. Look at that. Wow.
We should not have talked about how this race was high attrition, because that's just
Biff's
proven the
DNF,
point.
but yet he's on track. I'm confused with that one. But this has not brought out the safety car because it was right on the safety car restart. So we are still, well, we're yellow flagged in the first sector, but green flagged the rest of the way through. Oh my goodness me, we've now only got yellow and the cars have been cleared, so now we've only got... Everybody in T4 is going to score a point, put it that way, if they finish now. We've only got 11 survivors with the last 5 laps. RC Danny is on his way to trying to clear Johnny Smooth and build a 1.2 second gap, who's got, well, who we thought... Avinash is right up the back of him. We thought he was going to be favoured. After his pit strategy played very, very well for him. Oh, this is going to be very, very tight. Could we see a Ferrari 1-2? We saw a Red Bull 1-2 in Tier 1 earlier this week. Are we going to see the second 1-2 of the week? Lima now, unfortunately, had a 5-second penalty earlier. Has now got a 3-second penalty. Look at this. Avinash gets a run off the last corner. And you mentioned, Martin, but these guys are on the same age tyres. And I tell you what, Johnny Smooth in a straight line. Wow.
Yeah, that's he's obviously got very little downforce on that car.
Yeah.
Because Avinash is all over him all the way around the track. But
and riding on board with Avinash, looking at the Alpine, it's a little bit twitchy. Connor now gets 3-second time penalty, up in 7th for his troubles. But this is where you think Avinash is going to be strong, but he's got Geke. Roundy's going to be pushing on. Roundy, don't forget, has got the medium tyres on. Everyone ahead of him on the hard. Look at the traction. Avinash gets off the second techno, and he also makes the move, and he does it. Can it stop just?
The funny thing was, I was literally just about to say on the next lap what Avinash might want to try and do is do something into the hairpin, and then he did it.
Wow. That was a great move. Got the traction through the second techno and made Johnny Smooth make the slight error, but now Johnny Smooth wants to try to return the favour, try to get attacking, but he can't because he's got Geke for company, who's also got Roundy in close proximity as well. This is a fight for the podium. It's not just a fight for the win between the two Ferrari boys. It's a fight for the podium. Oh, sorry, I censored it in Tier 3. Sorry, Rob, I did miss Tier 3. Apologies.
Avinash is taking some time out here. He's taken about 1/3 of a second in that sector. In that last sector, he took about 0.3. So I'll keep an eye on his times, and we will see whether he makes any progress over the next couple of laps, because he could be on the back of that teammate of his on the final lap at this rate.
Oh, that is going to be very, very exciting. Connor's had a ball drop moment outside of turn 2. He's lost his front wing as well. It's corner. Well, I don't know where he's going. That's one way of getting back to the track. But okay.
I think he's got a brand new combine harvester.
Thank you, Mr. Clarkson, with that one. He's going to open a restaurant next on Diddley Squat.
Well, now Avinash hasn't made any more progress in this lap.
I was just looking at that, funny enough, and he's during this move. Geke has fallen back to about a second. Roundy has backed off just a touch to 0.5. And don't forget, DRS is now and then. Oh, Roundy goes very, very wide through the first spoon. It's difficult on the outside curb through spoon, in the middle of spoon. You could potentially still lose the rear on there. It's a low curb, but I think it's due to the speed and the angle of steering that you can easily lose it. Tell you what, Roundy got a heck of a run from going wide though, and the traction that he's got, he's going to try and use the DRS because Geke is not going to get the DRS down the start finish straight. Look at the speed difference. Oh, Roundy got a little bit. That's allowed Geke just to get that bit of a run down the start finish straight, but the DRS, there it is on the Mercedes. Roundy Geke goes defensive. He's going to try around the outside, thinks better of it, trying to wait and just play the long game, be a little bit more patient. Here's the Mercedes man.
And that gap at the front is actually extended.
Yeah, 1.7 seconds. Johnny Smooth 1.8 further back. Geke is falling away as well. Roundy is desperately going to try to want to get past. He's thinking those mediums are still feeling good. We've only got 2 more laps after this one. No more safety cars tonight, folks, because of the 2-lap window that the game gives. So this is an out, straight fight to the finish. Johnny Smooth, I don't know if he had a moment or something, but then Avinash has just gained 4 tenths as well on his teammate.
Yeah, but the rate's coming down. He's basically back at the same gap as he was at the start of the.
Oh, Brindle's lost it up. Dunlop as well. Now only 10 finishes. We've got half the field, unfortunately, at this moment in time. Oh, look at that, Roundy and Geke side by side. Roundy does get the move into outside of 130. They got a little bit of a wheel banging, a little bit close for comfort, but Roundy makes the move and up into 4th position. Now his job is to chase. If he can do it in 2 more laps, 1.4 seconds is the gap.
Definitely doable.
It is, if he's got the tyres. Geke has used a lot of his ERS here. They see the rear light there flashing on the red bulb. He's got Chelsea for company and has decided to take a pit stop at the end as well. Of course, tier 1 driver would have given that place to Nikolai. But 1.4 seconds. Let's have a look at Chelsea's on the back now. So, I think Geke is struggling with his tyres. He's really struggling even through Dunlop. The Haas was so quick through Dunlop.
I mean, he's into 20 laps on those tyres, but then again, so is Danny.
Yeah, he's holding that gap quite well.
But obviously, the difference is that, Geke's got a car with much, much better tyres behind him than Avinash has got behind Danny.
Yeah. And Roundy, you mentioned it's doable. Roundy has closed half of that gap on this lap alone. Only 7.5 tenths coming out of Spoon is the gap. Roundy's sniffing the podium.
DRS as well. He's going
to
have DRS.
He will.
So he's going to be giving it everything at this moment.
He is. Let's have a quick look at Chelsea down before 130. Not close enough to make a move this time round. But the last chance to use DRS is going to be Roundy down the main straight.
But we know how fast Johnny Smooth is in a straight line as well, don't we?
That is a good point. So what can Roundy do? Can he get the DRS? It's where it is, wide open. The Petronas logo, very, very wide open. But it's going to help him get close to turn 1 and 2. What's his grip going to be like through this first sector? Oh, Roundy goes very, very, very wide. That's going to really, really hurt. Oh, Roundy down the ball, he's lost it! Roundy has lost it through the S's. Managed to keep it out of barriers. That just looked like the rear tyres were just about giving in.
He was giving it everything, to be fair. He was just super committed. He wanted that podium so bad, didn't he?
He does. Look at this. Chelsea going into the first Degner. Oh, had to back out. He was side by side going up the Dunlop curbs. This is now for 4th place. Johnny Smooth has kind of got a get out of jail free card. And now what can Chelsea do about Geke? They're going to be fighting tooth and nail. Geke, we saw, was harvesting his ERS. Didn't have much left. What has Chelsea got in the run down to Spoon this in the slipstream? Not close enough. Not able to do anything about it. Is he going to try into 130R? That is going to be the question. As the two Ferraris, the top 3, heading into 130R now for the final time. It's been a heck of an emotional evening. But let's quickly look. RFC Danny, what a race that has been from him. Takes the victory in Suzuka from his teammate Avinash. Johnny Smooth got off lightly. Geke takes the final podium, and Geke comes through in 4th, keeps ahead of the Haas of Chelsea in 5th. Wee Willie Winkle comes through in 6th place. Roundy, so unlucky, so unfortunate, takes 7th. Nikolai is going to come through in the other Alpine in 8th position as well. Even after penalties, he is safe in 8th place. And then we've got our bottle job, Mr. Connor, and our tier 1 driver, Anton, our man of many nationalities. Are they going to have a little fight into the last corner? Let's have a quick look, ladies and gentlemen. Ant's got a lot more pace. He's trying to go on the outside into 130, and he backs off. They will finish 9th and 10th respectively. And there we have it. 10 finishes in tier 4, ladies and gents.
Well, that was a bit fraught, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. Whew. It was all quite calm with a couple of safety cars. 3 safety cars in 9 laps. 4 in total. And an absolutely incredible last 5 or 6 laps.
The game has given Winky driver of the day, which is a conversation we haven't had.
He has just done the job quietly, hasn't he? Just kept out of trouble.
Would Winky be your driver of the day? Or would you fancy someone else? I mean, there's a few candidates there. I mean,
there is. That's what's getting me right now. Yeah, we haven't really featured Winky much, and sorry to Wee Willie Winkle about that. But 15th to 6th is a fantastic drive. Even after 3 pit stops, is a great shout.
And there's a few notables there as well. Just shout outs like Nikolai. I know that he's been desperate to get some points on the board because he's no assists and he's been keen to get a result for ages, and he's finally got himself some points. Avinash obviously has been solid, but you could argue that, I mean, yeah, things went the wrong way for him luck-wise, but hasn't quite worked out, has it? But yeah, I mean, Geke's done a good job. Johnny Smooth's done a good job. I think Danny obviously is another obvious candidate. He's just won the race from 10th. Exactly
that. I'm struggling to pick. I am honestly struggling to pick because those reasons.
I'm going to give it to Danny from my side.
Yeah, I think I've got to go with it as well. But, Avinash was on a lot fresher tyres, soaked up that pressure and just managed that gap as well. I think you're right. I think I'm going to kind of have to go with Danny as well. So great race from him for 10th on the grid to take the win, and a Ferrari 1-2, the third 1-2 this week. Johnny Smooth rounds off the podium. Of course, this is all down to preliminary before stewards' inquiries. Geke holds off Chelsea to take 4th and then 5th respectively. Wee Willie Winky in 6th. Roundy so desperately unlucky. He takes 7th. Nikolai, fantastic race. Finally some points in 8th and in 9th. And Connor in 10th, the last of the finishers. Unfortunately, Brindle did not finish in 11th. Backmizo, Gav, Night Shadow in 13th. Biff in 14th. Necromancer 15th. And Stocko in 16th. Scottish Ninja 17th. Kellogg's in 18th. Sambal 19th. And Smoggy Ghost in 20th and last place. That was extremely fraught.
It was. It's a tough track.
It is.
I kind of feel like we say it every week, but go for a setup that you can hold on to for a race, not the one that's quickest for qualifying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you were going to potentially, and I'm not going to say this in a negativity because it might call me out, but I don't want to do that. Johnny Smooth in a straight line was ridiculous. He saw the guys with DRS right behind him, and he still managed to pull away. And he still managed to hold it through the first and middle sector. Kudos to him. You could even, looking from the outside view, say that was more of a TT quality setup, but he held on to it and got a very solid third place as well from it. So,
yep, definitely.
Great from him. But yeah, exactly that. You don't use the TT setups as much as you can, and in order for this longevity through the race.
Well, anyway, there we go. Half of us have got to the end. More than, if you count the two of us, then more than half of us have got to the end.
I'm half and half. I've got wing damage. I've just about got there.
Is it rear wing damage, Mark?
Oh yeah, it's terminal. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Thank you very much for joining us this week as well. We are back on Friday evening, where you have the bottle job, Mr. Connor Hardy, joined by the Lion King himself in the commentary box as we take on the track that I can never remember the name of, because it's the track of many names. To some, it is just called the infamous Imola Circuit, the San Marino Grand Prix. We are there from Friday evening at 7:30 p.m. for MRCX. From all of us here at MRC, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Hills, as always, my friend.
A lot of fun. Thanks very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will see you in 2 days' time for the next round in the San Marino Grand Prix. Good night, everybody. Take care.